Hello YouTube, it's me, Brittany, and I have wonderful news. I have found a place to live. The search is over, the rejection is over. I found someone, they also have a cat. Yeah, let me just tell you about it because it is going to be the most interesting story you hear today. So here's just some thoughts from me. Before we get into housing, I will tell you that I've confirmed a second job, so I'm going to be making some good money this winter. I've also confirmed a local comedy show here for November 16th here in Colorado. If you're in the local area and you guys want to come check it out, definitely ask me in the comments. I will give you more information there. Also, when we'll get closer to it, I'll probably have a promotional video for myself where I just kind of promote myself because I'm shameless. So been looking for a place. So the last time I had a video, I tell you guys about a guy that I met just up the hill, and he was like really good. I thought it was going to be a really good option. I thought that would work out. However, the next day he texted me and said that he did not want to have a roommate and that he was rethinking his whole living situation and like gonna move or something. Like, so I was like, whoa, that's crazy, and I tried to talk him out of it, but whatever. I was still continued my search because that wasn't ever confirmed. So I looked on Craigslist and I found this one bedroom, one bath, so I get another bedroom to myself, bathroom to myself, and it was furnished with a bed. So that means I don't have to purchase anything. And we start corresponding via the emails and stuff like that. And then while I was at work the other night, we had a phone conversation. And, like it's kind of an awkward conversation when you're meeting someone over the phone. You've never met them before in person, and this is their first conversation you ever had with them. You feel like it's just going to be this awkward, like, hey. And so when you're trying to find a place to live, you think, oh, here's what I'm going to talk. We're going to say, what do you want for moving costs? This is what I have to move in. What do you have available? What other utilities? It's basic questions like that. And we did that for like the first, 5 to 10 minutes. And then we spent the next hour and a half just kind of randomly talking about random things because it turns out we just had a whole bunch in common. She's from the Midwest. I'm from the Midwest. And we're both snowboarders. We both were taxi drivers at one point in our life. So it just kind of was just kind of this weird conversation where like we tried to hang up a couple times, but it never happened because we were just kind of enjoying talking to each other and getting to know each other. And then we texted for a few days, and the next day she actually texted me and said, hey, I'm going to take the ad off. I really feel comfortable after having our conversation that even though you haven't seen the place that we're going to fit. And I was feeling the same way as well. And then I found out that it was across the interstate. So that's the only downside for me right now is that it is across the interstate. It's not really near a bus station for me, so I'm going to need to purchase a bicycle. But luckily enough, she's also willing to work with me over the next couple of months on the deposit and first and last. So she just wants first month's rent and a deposit of $1,000, which I have that pretty much. I'll have that with the next paycheck that I get in the next week or so. So I'm okay with that. But if I wrote her the $2,000 check, I wouldn't have any money for food or any of my other supplies. And now that I know that I need a bike, I would also need some extra money to purchase a bike. So we discussed that whenever I went to look at the place, and I think it's gonna work out because she's gonna work on me with payments, and I don't think it'll take me that long because I just set up a second job for the winter. So we're not worried about money, and she's working with me on that. And I'm going to purchase a bike so that I'll have an ability to get to and from the bus station, as well as she works an opposite schedule of me and has the ability to give me a ride to the bus station if need be. And she's pretty much offered that as well. I mean, like, she's really super cool. And when I tell you the strangest part about this story, you're going to be like, it's complete fate that we've met each other. And that's exactly how I feel. Like, let me just tell you. So she takes me over to the place. We look at it. I meet her cat. Really nice cat. I think Megan and her are gonna get along, or Megan and him are gonna get along just fine. It may take a little bit for them to, because they're cats and they're temperamental. It may take a little bit for them to start getting along, but I don't think it's gonna be an issue. After we looked at that house for a little while, I brought her over here to meet Megan so that she could have a chance to meet Megan. And Megan was actually very, very friendly, much more friendly than I expected because she's normally very closed off and she doesn't really like to let people touch her usually up front, but she actually laid down with, on the bed next to her, and she called her up to the bed, and Megan got up. I was actually very proud. It's like Megan was taking notes from me going, I need to make this work because my mom has no other options. So I really appreciate that from you, Megan. Yeah, so the strangest thing is as we're pulling up into the house, she says, "Hey, do you live in the very last one on the left?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I said my landlord's name, and she like punched me, like playfully, just like punched me. Like, so, oh my God. So the room that you are looking at in this camera right now, all of this stuff right here, used to be her room. So she literally used to live in this exact same room. In fact, she moved out months before I moved in. We are the next, like, she was the last person to live in this room before I lived here. And so she freaks out because when she left here, she left a bunch of her stuff. Because, like I've said, when I showed you guys my room before, there's a lot of stuff over in the corner that's not even mine. It's just been there since I've lived here because it's been left behind by people who have lived here before. So now she's even more excited, and I'm excited because she's going to help me move, and she's going to take all of her stuff back. So, she basically asked why I was going to move out, and I told her about, the notes and everything, and she said that's exactly what her experience was. She had a really rough time with this, with the same way when she said she wanted to move, he wrote her an eviction note saying she had to be out in 7 days. Yeah, so like I think it's just like perfect that we've met each other because now I'm moving in with someone who understands the stress and crazy weirdo person landlord that I've had for the last like year and a half. She had him for her own year, so she's like totally gets every single bit of it. So like yeah, so all of this, like a lot of this stuff, the furniture, the fridge that's in here, there's a chair, I mean there's so much stuff down here that apparently is all her stuff, and we're moving it into the apartment, and now we're going to be roommates. And yeah, I don't really see a reason for us to not be roommates for a while. Like I think it's just kind of kismet. Is that the right word? That we've met. It's fate. That this whole incident's happened. I would have never in 1,000 years expected that the place where I'm moving into used to live in the place that I live in now. And that's it's just exactly what's happened. Anyways, I am super stoked to give you guys this news. That's the brunt of everything about it. I will do another video about all this probably once I get moved in, so I'll show you everything. I'll show you the new place and everything. Give you guys a little view of it. I might be a little dormant for a while. However, I am off for the next few days, and I have been working on a project. I wanted to make a video last week when it was National Coming Out Day, but it turns out that my coming out story is really boring. So I decided to work on a project where I'm going to make a 3 to 4 video series called My Coming Out Journey. And I'm going to start with, certain periods of time where I've come out, as different aspects. We'll totally get into it. I told you, please, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. If you already are a subscriber, I love you guys. Keep your eyes peeled for those videos. They're going to come this weekend. I am going to work on them. I have everything ready for them. I don't expect them to be too longer than what these ones normally are, but we're going to talk a lot about some history. I'm going to just basically give you guys a big brunt of what my whole life has been like as far as coming out, because I have never officially come out until I came out as transgender. That was only thing I ever really officially came out of, but I'll get totally into that when I do those videos. I found a house. That's the point of this, and it's so awesome, and I'm so glad that the search and the stress is over with. I'm so thankful. I love every single one of you guys. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye bye.